So what I decided to do is, after leaving Valentine, Nebraska, to fly direct to the Scotts Bluff VORTAC, then to the Cheyenne, Wyoming VORTAC, and then down to Rocky Mountain Metro Airport. So these were some of the views I was seeing out of the plane as I flew towards the Scotts Bluff VORTAC. And it was interesting because there were some airliners that were diverting from Denver International to Scotts Bluff. So as we were approaching Scotts Bluff, you can see storm out on the right side and you can see storm out on the left side. But there's a very clear path in between, maintained VFR the whole time. Was on with flight following as well so that I could get any assistance needed, but we weren't really close to either of the storms. It made a bit of a detour in the route, so as I turned left from Scotts Bluff VORTAC and head down to the Cheyenne VORTAC, that's when the visuals got really, really cool out on the left side. And you can just see storms brewing up, a giant storm cloud, and luckily it was just far enough away from Rocky Mountain Metro that I was able to slide in and land there. So check out some of these views. Man, I mean, that cloud off to the left there, that was pretty wild. You can also see a little rainbow, which was pretty sweet. At one time it was right over downtown Denver, so I got to check out that cool little rainbow over Denver. Rocky Mountain Metro Airport, actually a pretty cool airport. So it's got a very long runway, which is good when you have a very hot day with high altitude. So a lot of you who are private commercial pilots who learn about density altitude, you learn the calculations, but you never really have to put it into practice if you're training somewhere in the Midwest, like Flying Club, Twin Cities, like I did. But out here in Denver, when you have a over 5,000 foot field elevation and the temperature's 90 degrees, you better be doing those takeoff calculations, that's for sure. Anyways, nice big long runway at Rocky Mountain Metro. Felt like I had a pretty smooth landing for the fact that the air was getting a little bit turbulent coming into it, probably because of the storms that had moved through maybe 30-45 minutes ago. Really liked the airport. There was a lot of big helicopters. I think they were firefighting helicopters that were parked, and got a really, really cool visual of the storm cloud as we taxied in to the FBO. FBO that I dropped my passengers off at was called Sheltair. Highly recommend if you're ever at Rocky Mountain Metro to check out Sheltair. This is not a paid plug from them. They were good. They gave me a free orange and a water and chatted for a little bit as I waited for the storms to move along. And then I decided to take off and head back to Flying Club. Well, we made it here to Rocky Mountain Airport, and now we're going to turn around and head right back out. So catch you back in the sky. So taking off here from Rocky Mountain Metro, the controller gave me an interesting vector at the beginning, fly direct to some area until I was outside of the Delta. So I had to say, hey, you know, I'm not from around here. So he said, oh great, it's about a heading of 300. So took off, flew a heading 300 until I was outside of the Delta, and then I presumed to go north and get back around all of the storms that were east of me and moving east. The unfortunate part, I also wanted to be moving east, so I had to go completely around the top of them. as it was getting dark out. It's kind of cool visuals because you see we have mountains off here to the left and storms off here to the right. And here I am in the middle. So as the sunset turned to night, there were some storms up by Rapid City, and I got some really cool visuals of some of the lightning up in the tops of the clouds. Granted, I was really far away from them, but they were so huge. You can see it kind of bright as day, and it was awesome. And I'm flying by myself here, and it was pretty bumpy. I used the autopilot for quite a bit of it, but I did do some hand flying as well on the way back, at least back to my fuel stop, which was an interesting story in itself. Ended up going to Winter Regional Airport for my fuel stop on the way back to Flying Cloud. And it's an interesting setup there. I don't have any video of it. I got video of my landing at Winter, but not of the FBO. There was nobody at the FBO, and there was nobody to take money for the fuel. So I left them my phone number, and they called me the next day, and we settled up. And by the time I got there, it was about midnight, and it was pitch black, so I didn't video the way back to Flying Cloud, but I made it home safe. 2:30 in the morning. Made it back to Flying Cloud. Ooh.